But dude, yesterday we were hanging out with motherfucking Dietrich's, and he was like ashamed of his acting. I'm like, you're way better than fucking Van Damme.
I don't know about that. I don't even know Dietrich can do the splits.
And that movie where he was acting got a 6%. So
Yeah. All right, this is for the OGs out there, all right? In Rotten Tomatoes news, submitted by Ryanimay.
submitted by me. Oh, because I told you about it.
Some users submitted it.
By Ryanimay.
And this is about how Rotten Tomatoes scores have been manipulated.
They bullshit, dude.
By a PR firm.
They're bullshit.
Yeah?
And they're paying critics for reviews.
Is this recent or has it always been this way?
Well, so the story's breaking recently, right? This week.
I never trusted.
Because I always thought it was rigged for some reason.
When I saw that movie Equalizer 3 get like 90% on Rotten Tomatoes, I was like, what the?
It's not that good?
How the fuck did this movie get 90%, dude? 90%?
The third is.
Because some of the reviews, I was like, why? That made no more. It just didn't make any sense, and it never matched the public sentiment. Yeah. So I was like, something's going on here. It doesn't make. And I stopped fucking looking at Rotten Tomatoes. This was like years ago.
But it was the same reason as you, because they would have the audience score be different than the review score.
Yeah, and
they're always
like,
going to be different. But like sometimes it's like 40, 50 points different.
Right, and then so at that point I thought, who are these fucking gatekeeping snobs that think they know film but they don't know film, or they're just so niche that they trash everything else that they don't like, and they only like a little style of, you know. Yeah. So I'm like, they're not real like good critics, and maybe I don't like their tastes. Now this makes way more sense.
So what was happening? This is a PR firm who's basically paying people to give reviews, just paying randos basically to like go establish your account on Rotten Tomatoes and then give us a good review and then we'll pay you.
I'll do that.
And so the PR firm, it's not Rotten Tomatoes saying, hey, we're gonna pay, we'll give you some good reviews. You pay us, right? Yeah. It's this PR firm, so they're basically exploiting the Rotten Tomatoes layout and using it to actually help make money for movies that otherwise wouldn't really make that much money.
That's why we need Roger and Ebert, dude. We need those guys back.
Didn't they give 2 thumbs down to Hook?
They did?
Have you tried to watch Hook though lately?
Siskel and Ebert?
Yeah,
it's a toughie.
But I get it though. It's also one of those things where sometimes from a critic's point of view, a movie like sucks and then it becomes a cultural phenomenon later.
Oh yeah, that's like Bloodsport.
I don't know what the critics
That's not
review
universally
on,
known to be that.
But also too, I think
that's just us.
I feel like with movies, you really do have to go in watching it for what the movie's supposed to be.
And that's the hard part.
That's the hard part, right? It's like when I go watch fucking what's a movie example? Like for instance, Barbie. I went into that movie thinking, all right, it's gonna be a fun time at the movie. It's not gonna be anything fucking that serious. It's not gonna be that big of a deal. But I remember I had a very fun viewing experience. But my wife, she went in with a completely different
What is she
mindset.
going with?
Well, she thought she's a fashion girl, so she was like, I was expecting all these outfits and blah 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 blah.
There weren't enough outfits for her?
She didn't think there was.
There was too many for me.
Hey, dude, my wife said there wasn't enough outfits. Okay.
Not enough outfits.
I was overwhelmed.
Yeah. And I was like, and she was like, yeah, it was cool like that. And I was like, okay, but I left it. I was like, that was so funny. I had such a fun time. I don't remember the last time I had that much fun in a movie in a while.
Me too. It was my favorite movie of the year so far.
Yeah, honestly.
When does the review of the movie start? Does it start with like trailer 1 then? Because the trailer already starts to prep you of how you should watch the movie.
I think
but the problem is sometimes the trailer throws it one way, and then you go watch the movie, and then so you try to go in with that bias that you feel like the trailer told you to have. And
I say no trailers, dude. I say
no trailers?
I say
then
no
how
trailers.
do you know if you want to go watch it or not?
Whoa.
I don't know. I think you just have to go on the subject matter of the movie, right?
I think trailers, like for one example where it did it to us was like we were so excited to watch Forgotten, like me and Quest. You ever seen that movie Forgotten?
No.
So in the trailer, it's like this lady wakes up basically, and I guess her life, she had like a kid, and then that used to play with the neighbor's kid. And then she wakes up, she doesn't have a kid, the neighbor doesn't have a kid, and the neighbor's like, what are you talking about? And there's no pictures of kids in any of their houses.
Yeah, she's fucking nuts.
And then she's like, what the fuck, did I just imagine my life? And then at one point in the movie, like or in the trailer, they fucking
rip the wallpaper and the kid wallpaper's still there. And it makes you go, what the fuck? Yeah, and you just want to know what happened. And then you watch the movie and you're like, oh, the answer is aliens? That fucking sucked.
Yeah. See? That's why you gotta go no trailer, I think.
That's why it could work against you and like, you didn't want that answer.
But doesn't that make you want to watch the movie as the trailer?
I think it does,
yeah, it
but
does.
then like I think people's own expectations when they go watch a movie, it'll ruin it for them. I think at least for me.
But that's also the job objective of the person making trailers. That's not usually the guy who made the movie. The guy who made the trailer is just getting people in the fucking scene.
getting you interested, getting that hook of like, oh, what the fuck?
And they definitely misrepresent what films are a lot of the time. They'll even remember we've talked about this. Like they'll use scenes that are completely cut from the trailer.
Yeah.
But they
And
won't
then-
anymore.
They don't anymore, but they were doing that for a long time. And then you go to the movie, you don't even see that whole scene. They're just trying to trick you into the theater.
But that lawsuit like totally cut that out of the biz, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. So basically, this PR firm is called Bunker 15. They were manipulating the Rotten Tomato score of a project by paying critics for positive reviews and burying the negative ones. The project in question is a 2018 movie called Ophelia, which nobody literally ever heard of. A female-fronted adaptation of Hamlet starring Daisy Ridley. Does that sound great or what?
Dude, nobody's gonna watch that.
Daisy Ridley's the Star Wars girl?
Yeah.
Ophelia. Is that like a Shakespeare?
Damn, that sounds like a big project.
But the trailer was good because it had like a bunch of Shakespeare scenes with ba with the ba.
Oh, that's tight.
Yeah.
And Hans Zimmer fucking scoring it.
Wow.
No one's watching that, bro.
But the ba with the ba part got me pretty good.
So it was not a good movie.
People didn't like it. Early press screenings said that they just got 46% in like Rotten within 13 reviews, 7 of which were negative. And then Bunker 15, the PR firm, got to work, quote unquote, started taking on obscure, often self-published critics who are still part of the Rotten Tomatoes tracked reviewers. So people who maybe weren't doing that much.
Which is the weird thing that like they have the same value as the LA Times or like as someone that puts their rep out constantly.
So hey, resuscitate your account. You're not doing that much. Hey, come on back. You're already on here. Why don't you give us a positive review and we'll pay you for it. And that's what they were doing.
Smart move.
Yep, and they were able to pay them $50 or more per positive review, and
Wow.
all of a sudden they started to get more positive, feedback. The score goes up to 62%, and a month later, IFC Films bought distribution rights for its U.S. release.
Well, good for them.
That's the
That's the sussery, the biggest sussery.
Good for them.
So now IFC Films got ripped off, essentially, knowing that using this model, they can sell the movie. They obviously you're using like algorithms and stuff to be like, hey, if it has this amount of percents, we can definitely track it in through these markets and get enough eyeballs.
They do that even without the Rotten Tomatoes. Like some
on
movies,
Amazon.
yeah, some movies
Yeah.
they'll have like however many theater release. They know if they could pack however many tickets, then they'll open up the next batch of theater releases. So some people just straight up buy out the whole theater and there's no one in there, just so they can open up. Okay, it's cool. We have these 15 territories now. These 25 territories also now open up. So it's not like, I guess, not unique to them.
Yeah, and all I gotta say is great job, Bunker 15.
Yeah.
I mean,
They did hack the system.
yeah, you had a job, you completed it, got the fucking movie distributed.
You hustled.
You know what I mean?
You
It's
hustled.
like,
But the backlash is worse for the movie, I feel like.
Think so?
Yeah, because now, like we've always said, Rotten Tomatoes probably had something weird about
Something
it.
fucky.
But it's also, that by the way, that site was created and still owned by like an Asian dude, so that's cool.
When I saw Wizard of Oz have 100%, I was like, man, fuck that classic film.
But
You mean the original?
Yeah.
Why is that bad?
I don't know. I think one time I was searching, I was like, what has 100%? And it said Wizard of Oz, and I was like, we don't got the same taste.
You think Wizard of Oz is whack?
I mean, that's a zeitgeist.
It's not as good as Bloodsport. It doesn't have 100.
Ah, dude.
See, it's a good
Wizard of Oz and Bloodsport's fucking funny.
If Bloodsport was 100, I'm like,
Dude, it's a classic.
I trust your taste. But I don't really quite trust their taste if it's off.
It's structurally really good too.
But this is the first time that Rotten Tomatoes actually did something about it.
oh really?
Yeah, that's why I think it's bad for the film.
Yeah.
Oh.
So Rotten Tomatoes delisted a bunch of the firm's movies,
Oh.
like Bunker 15, from the site, and they said, hey, look, we take integrity of our scores very seriously. We don't tolerate any attempts to manipulate them or game them. We have a dedicated team who monitors our platforms regularly and thoroughly investigates and resolves any suspicious activity. But yeah, this scandal aside, what we're talking about, what kind of smells, they did an entire report about this that goes in detail about issues with Rotten Tomatoes in their system, which has been slammed by filmmakers all over the years, including Scorsese. He's like, hey, this destroyed the art of individual experts' thoughts and opinions and created a big collective where we all just review a number instead of individual submissions.
Finding out why.
Yeah.
Someone dissecting it.
You used to like go through the newspaper and just see different perspectives even, and now we just look at the score and we go, it's bad. So
It's a good movie, bad movie.
Yeah. And it's something we do to everything as Americans, I think.
Because even there used to be a whole critique like role, like a job, like you're a film critic, you were like a food critic, right? Like you spent hella time studying it, creating, like, and then there you used to, your opinion used to mean something, like, but now it doesn't fucking matter because now it's like millions of people with shit taste.
Yep.
Yeah.
Dude, we just want to, and I do this too, by the way. Like if I see a movie like being reviewed on some website, I just scroll all the way down to see what the score is before I even decide if I want to read the review.
Part of your culture now for how you check. It's also weird too because I didn't think about that, about how like certain films could lose or gain distribution based on their Rotten Tomatoes score. I didn't think about that.
It's just so popular. Like it became the new standard. Like my dad used to open up the newspaper and he would look at the reviews of like, you know, Roger Ebert and Siskel and all
The
those guys.
reviews are in.
Yeah, and we would decide what movie we were going to see, right? And usually we were already pretty hyped up.
I remember they even had a show. They'd be like the top 5 movies of the weekend or whatever.
Watch that shit.
But like
Siskel and Ebert.
Bloodsport probably has what's Bloodsport's Rotten Tomatoes score?
It's probably wrong, dude. It's probably like 30%.
I like how Bloodsport should be the best movie ever.
Like, you know what I mean? Like that's a movie where like if you didn't know what it was, you might have missed it if you just looked at the score.
Look, I love Bloodsport.
Me too. I think that's fucking way better than
46%.
See, it's wrong. They got love story,
Certified Rotten. It's under 60.
action.
But 74% audience score.
But Van Damme kind of sucks in these movies.
He's not that good.
He's like really would.
You can make the argument of like, dude, he kind of ruined.
Dude, he's a great actor. He should have got Oscar for this scene.
That was dope.
You know what I mean? I was a believer.
I think he got nominated.
But dude, yesterday we were hanging out with motherfucking Dietrich's, and he was like ashamed of his acting. I'm like, you're way better than fucking Van Damme.
I don't know about that. I don't even know Dietrich can do the splits.
And that movie where he was acting got a 6%. So
I just don't understand. He made a movie for men, but he's always got to be wearing tight, silky underwear, and he's bent over.
he knows what men want.
Remember he shows his butt?
Bart thinks it's better than Wizard of Oz, dude.
Immaculate taste.
Here's the thing, you're not gonna watch Wizard of Oz again.
Dude.
If you order a fucking Pizza Hut, you're gonna turn on Wizard of Oz or Bloodsport. Exactamundo.
That's a really good take.
It's a good take. It's a good take.
It's a good take. But if my mom's around, I have to put on Wizard of Oz. I can't put on Bloodsport.